Welcome to today's video. If you are new here, if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. I am looking forward to share with you the message that was brought to me. It is time to talk about this, about when we travel. When we go on the journeys that you have done for the last months, we travel through the subconscious mind and through the superconscious, inward and outward, through the layers of existence. Not everything that exists is contained in the subconscious, even in the collective subconscious. There's a layer of existence where things are not easily named, where we do not have all the words to describe what we see, and much of what we experience is felt. These are the higher frequencies. When we travel, I hold the frequency. You don't have to understand everything that you see or see the same things that I describe, because much of what happens here happens automatically in the body, in the spirit, through your connection with your higher self. That said, what I often do after a download, after a journey, is I examine the symbols and I question why they were seen in the sequence or together. So I do this through tapping in, connecting with the energies, through going to my books, and also through asking artificial intelligence. So today, I want to share with you more about what we saw on the last journey. And let me know in the comments if you would like me to do this regularly, go deeper into what we experienced during our travels. So while I record, I do feel Hecate's presence, protecting the space and those of angels. The tribe has asked for me to connect with the dark feminine before the last recording. So for those of you who did the travel with the previous video, I'm going to explain 3 specific archetypes and symbols that showed up. Oshun, that was stirring the pot at the river. Then Medusa's cave and Medusa and the crocodile spirit as well as the frog spirit that we encountered there. For those of you who haven't done the journey, you can always do the journey first and then come back to this video, or listen to the video till the end and then do the journey if you are so led. So during that journey, the first deity that we met, the first dark feminine principle of the divine that showed up was Oshun. And she was busy stirring the pot. So she was actively altering something in the collective field. She asked me to sit while she was doing that. In the Yoruba cosmology, Oshun covers sweetness and attraction, fertility and creation, emotional intelligence, divine timing, and the power that makes things come together. Now, especially that power is one she was demonstrating. When she stirs a pot, she is combining elements that were previously separate. This means things you thought were unrelated are being blended. Past and future are mixed into the present. Desire and destiny are being mixed. This is alchemy. So we see Oshun, the river goddess, working with fire. And fire, as you know, stands for transformation, heat, inevitability, digestion. The water of the river, emotion, memory, intuition, life force, the divine feminine. Now, when Oshun controls fire, it means the feminine is no longer passive and receptive only, or waiting. She is directing the transformation. This brings to you, the collective, the message that emotions are being processed, they are not suppressed. Desire is being refined, not indulged in, and something is being made ready. The fire she's working on is a kitchen fire. It is for cooking. It's not chaos. It's nourishment, not distraction. She was cooking in a pot. She was stirring a pot. The pot, if you can guess it already, is the collective womb. Inside it is unfinished stories, unspoken grief, unrealized creations, relationships not yet formed, identities not yet lived. And she stirs it. It means gestation is on the way. Nothing that is inside is forgotten. Timing is being adjusted. That is when I arrived there, she said to me, I know why you are here. We who traveled and everything that entails our story was already in the pot being stirred. Now she asked me to sit, to witness, to trust the timing, not to interfere, not to rush the cooking. She didn't ask me to help or to act. This is a message of restraint and trust. For this particular moment in time that we connected, the deeper message is that the feminine is deciding what comes next. Change is already happening even if you feel still. You are not late or early. You are inside the process. That is also why the environment is lush and green and the river is full. That is why abundance is implied. It's not promised, it is there. It is the continuity of life itself. So we met Oshun before we met Medusa. Oshun prepares, she softens, she sweetens the descent. And only after that, after the mixture is stable, can the shadow be faced without fear. So Oshun's stirring is preparing the nervous system of the collective for the deeper initiation that followed in the cave of Medusa. It would be interesting to hear from you how you did experience this moment in the journey. That moment sitting near the river watching Medusa stirring the pot. But let's move on to the cave. And I'm first going to talk about the two spirits that showed up. They were not random animal symbolism or imagination. They arrived together because they are paired initiatory intelligences that only show themselves once fear has softened. And the fact that this happened in the cave is essential. The cave is the womb of the earth, the unconscious, the place where sight changes, and the domain where instinct replaces intellect. It is only here where these two spirits could show themselves without threat. For those of you who haven't seen the video, it was a spirit of a crocodile, could be an alligator also, and a frog. And the frog had a crown on its head like the frog prince in the fables. So both the crocodile and the frog are guardians of transformation inside this cave. Outside the cave, the crocodile is danger and the frog is repulsion. But here in the cave, they are translucent, gentle, and almost playful. The crocodile is one of the oldest living archetypes on Earth. It predates human fear stories. Energetically, the crocodile represents primordial survival intelligence, cellular memory, ancestral shadow, and the part of the psyche that shows how to endure catastrophe. Here, it appeared soft, pastel, and non-threatening, because in the cave, fear is no longer projected outward. The crocodile does not need armor when it is recognized. The message for you is that what you fear as predatory is actually protective. And what you think will devour you is guarding something ancient within you. This spirit appears when survival patterns are dissolving. Hypervigilance is no longer needed, and the nervous system is ready to release ancestral fear. He becomes adorable only when the work is complete. That is why he appeared like that for us. Now, the frog, on the other hand, is a threshold creature. He's amphibious, so he lives between water and land, between emotion and embodiment. The presence of the frog directly invoked the frog prince, but not the childish version. Originally, the frog prince was about the shadowed masculine, the rejected part of desire, and the sovereignty hidden in what repels us. The frog does not become a prince through force, he becomes a prince through contact, through acceptance, proximity, through intimacy with what was avoided. I get full body chills. So the crown is crucial. It says, what you have dismissed as lesser already holds sovereignty. There's a reason the two of them appear together, the frog and the crocodile. The crocodile is the fear of being destroyed, and the frog is the fear of being disappointed. The one is ancient terror, the other is subtle aversion. But in the cave they dissolved, they became translucent, because it is here where they are seen and not analyzed like in the daylight. The shadow lost its density. Fear no longer needs form, and instinct has returned to innocence. That is why they were sweet and not threatening. There is also a reason for them being allowed in by Medusa inside the cave, because she is truth without decoration. Her gaze removes projection, she reveals what is already harmless, and she ends the need for illusion. So in Medusa's presence, and take that not only for these spirits, but for everything appearing in front of this dark feminine archetype, the monster loses its mask, rejection becomes crowned, and the ancient becomes gentle. So the cave becomes a place of reunion, not a place of trial. The message this holds for the collective is that in this moment in the cave, there's nothing left in your shadow that can harm you. What you feared was guarding your sovereignty. What you rejected was waiting to be recognized. This happens only when the dark feminine has been trusted, descent has been completed, and fear has lost its story. After this, we received the crystal on our forehead from Medusa. Now, once again, I want to emphasize that the journey itself was complete. The journey itself meets the body, the memory, and all the places where awakening is still happening, still integrating rather. And that is enough. You do not need to know all these meanings. I just brought this forward for those of you who are interested in it, and let me know if you want me in future to do it after the journeys. So thank you for listening, and I will meet you in the comments. I'm sending you my infinite love till I speak to you again next time. Goodbye.